Welcome to Gymnastics Insights, the first ever episode. This will be your new gymnastics hub where we are talking events, training, and we are building a community where we are going to indulge on all of these technical skills, all of the strength training that is necessary for doing gymnastics, and diving into all of the events going on, definitely in Europe, but also trying to look outside into the worldwide as well. So today's episode is going to be all about the Swedish championships and the Icelandic championships, and we are not on a very tight deadline, so we are also letting us see where everything goes, and if a topic comes up, we will definitely pursue that as well.
Yes.
Perfect. And your hosts are me, Oliver Bay, and
Rasmus Steffensen. And today we're covering, the first thing we will be covering is SM, which is the Swedish championships. So let's talk a little bit about that. So I watched the live stream, which I thought was pretty nice. The live stream worked great, good commentating, and they were very fast, so we didn't have to wait that long for watching every of the athletes, so it was pretty smooth, and I think that's what we need to do in gymnastics too. When we make the live stream, it has to be smooth.
yeah, definitely it has to be something that is actually worth your while to actually stay home and watch. So of course nothing beats the atmosphere as being in the arena, but when you aren't able to be in the arena, for example, when things are in Sweden, you are in Denmark, it's very nice that the production around the live stream is actually nice, and that it's not just an iPad standing in a corner, but it's actually something that you've tried to make look good all the way through.
Yeah, they also did some interviews with some of the Swedish gymnasts, which I personally think is very nice. So before the competition, they were talking to them about what do they hope for, what is... are they nervous? Everything like that. I think that's a good perspective to give the audience. So that's a little bit about the live stream. Very, very great job. I think it's quite good.
How did they do about the language on the commentary?
It was in Swedish.
Was that hard to understand?
Kind of hard to understand,
Yeah.
but as a Danish people, we understand a little bit of it, and then can translate somehow into what they are talking about, but it would be better in English, I think.
Yeah. Because I also watched the Icelandic championships, and their live stream was great as well, but their commentary was also in Icelandic, and I can understand why, because you're like broadcasting to Icelandic people and everything, but like coming from outside and actually trying to understand what is going on. I need to know the sport, luckily we do, but if I were to bring someone in to watch the Icelandic championships, they wouldn't get like this experience of actually having someone guiding them through all the way. And it was kind of hard to understand. So we know the skills, but if you aren't used to watching gymnastics, it can be very hard to understand what kind of skill was that and why is that more difficult than the other one. And also you had to really follow along to understand the scoring because you didn't understand the language. So.
Yes, and that's actually why we did make this podcast.
Yeah,
it's because would like to cover every gymnastics event.
Yep.
As good as we can, and talk about the topics in gymnastics, what we think we need to do in gymnastics to make it become a bigger sport, and maybe get it somewhere professionally, something like that. And yeah, we would like to bring you as much information as we can, and what we think is not always the right thing, but we are trying to be as honest as we can. So what we think is what we are telling you. So you might not agree, but we're trying to be as honest as we can.
Yeah, definitely. And it's important for us to say that it's our opinions.
Yes.
You are entitled to have your own. So our opinions doesn't mean that everything is... that it just should be how we think it should be, but it's our take on how we can actually elevate things and make them even better. Yeah.
Good. So if we're going to talk a little bit about the men's competition in Sweden.
Yeah.
So what I thought a lot about is they are playing by their strengths.
Okay.
So they are doing the gymnastics. Most of them did full straight as a team round.
Yep.
On tumbling, and then they had a mixed round. So the ones who had the strength in forwards tumbling did that, which I think is a very good idea. Play by a strength, and some of the others did something like a few millers, whip miller, and also one person I think did double straight full tuck, which I personally like because we have a background in power tumbling. So yeah, that's personally likable for us. But what I would like to see is, I would like to see more people do the miller as a team round.
Yeah.
Because I think it's very possible to get 6 people to do the miller straight.
Also because I think if we just look towards Denmark, it's been like many years since the first team actually went in and did that. I think Gelor Sønner did that in 2016.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Now we have the Gladsaxe boys.
Exactly, and they're doing an incredible job of actually pushing the limits, pushing the boundaries of what people in TeamGym often think is possible. So that's very nice. But yeah, I agree totally 100% that we need to see more people try to push the roof. Also because I know that the code of points doesn't actually favor that, but if you want the code of points to change, you have to
push the boundaries somewhere else.
Exactly.
And another thing I thought about was, I know it's the Swedish Championships, but maybe at some point you should think about, is this the right year for us? Or should we try to push the limit this year and maybe train for maybe 4 of the people could do miller transition miller to landing, and then they have landed a miller. Then you only have to make 2 land the miller for the next year, and then you have the team round. So in my perspective, I think it's not that easy, but in my perspective, I think it would be very nice to...
We're sorry if there's coming some noises from the door. This is Rasmus's dog, just eager to get in, but this is not a dog podcast, so he is not welcome in this podcast.
She's out.
She's out. It's a she. Oh.
Yeah. So I would like to know if people are thinking about, could we push the boundaries? Could we do a miller team round? And maybe could we push the forwards tumbling as well, because Sweden is quite good at forwards tumbling.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was a lot of full half straights and a lot of pike half out and straight half out, which I personally like because that's a part of the TeamGym. But I think they could push a lot more in the backwards tumbling as well. But when that is said, I think they were quite safe most of the time. I could see there was a bit of difference in difficulty, but I think they tried to do it as safe as they could, so the rounds were kind of safe.
Yeah. That's also if you have to play towards the code of points, you have to just
land on your feet.
So
yeah.
If you fall, it would have been better for you to take it down a notch and then actually land on your feet. And that is a good thing, but it's kind of also what is keeping them back difficulty-wise.
Yes, so as a gymnast, in my opinion, you have to evolve every time you can.
Yeah.
And for as long time as you can. And I think the code of points might bring you a bit down in that path. But if we are talking about the results for the men's gymnastics, so Roma did win by 58.6.5, and KFUMGA was behind on second place with 57.750, and on third place Enebybergs Enebybergs Gymnastics 50.7. So
that's
Roma and KFUM was kind of close.
Yeah.
In between 1 point.
Yeah.
So that's That's quite good. But for me, it was pretty clear that Roma did very, very great, very safe runs. Also in the tram pit, I think I have the rounds. They did triple pike half out as a team round, and it was very, very good.
Oh yeah.
Very, very clean, very easy landings, great height, very good. Yes. And then there was 2 tucked half out triple.
Oh yeah.
And then there was 4 full halves.
Yeah.
Which I personally think is quite good.
Yes.
And then we have 2 what's it called?
Yeah, actually I don't know what that's called, but it's like
handspring.
It would be just
full
like
half.
a handspring, yeah, exactly. So it would be handspring over the wall, that would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you like to talk about it, they did full straight as a team round. They did 3 millers, 2 straight and a half forward tumbling.
Yeah.
Double straight and a half. And then they did double straight, 2 double straights to full in.
Okay.
And they also have full half tucked and straight as forward tumbling. So that's quite good in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
But I would like to see the full straight team round get out of the way.
Yeah, it could be nice to just, because everyone is doing that. So every senior men's team, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, is doing exactly the same team round. So it would be nice to see someone switching that out and figuring out what can we do instead, and can that make up for us to actually put more difficulty into the second and third round as well. But I also know, like, it's when you come to teaming competitions, you go into the warm-up arena and then you do your warm-up on your equipment, and then you come into the competition and then you actually have to go straight away, so you don't have a 1-touch or a 2-touch or something like that. And that of course makes it more difficult, so you have to go in and actually feel the track for the first time and make a difficult jump. So I can understand why you would go with an easier jump as the first go of the day, because you don't have that 1-touch.
Yeah, but still the full straight is quite easy for
definitely. Yeah,
men,
definitely.
so.
You could definitely push the boundaries on that one. You could definitely push the difficulty on that one as well. But I feel that there might be some rules that could be changed to actually make it even better for the gymnast to be able to push that team round a bit more, instead of having one track and crossing your fingers and hoping that the track in the competition will be the same.
Mm-hmm.
I know we enjoy that in tumbling because there is a difference between the warm-up track and the competition track. So it's very nice to have your warm-up track, get all the jumps out of the system, like tuning in to where you need to be, and then go into the competition actually feeling, okay, so this is how the track is right now, this state.
Yeah.
There could be something there. I know that it takes away from like the speediness of things, but I feel one round of 6 persons, I don't know if that's actually going to be that big of a difference in times anyway.
No, I don't think it would. I think it would be okay.
It could be.
But still, I feel like the track is the track.
Definitely, and most of the time people in tumbling is also just going in, doing their 1-touch. They're actually performing kind of close to what they're going to be performing anyway. So, but I think that it's giving like this confidence in, now I know the track, now I can really just zone in, focus in on what I need to do to make this skill. And maybe that could be why a lot of people is choosing something that is way easier than what they actually can do as the team round, because they need the team round, otherwise they'll get a deduction. But also because like we know everyone is getting a good start of this equipment.
Yeah, but I feel like they could do something about that also in Denmark as well.
Definitely.
And every other place, I think they have the same build around every place almost.
Yeah. I think
TeamGym, so
suppliers will be mostly the same, especially in like Norway, Denmark, Sweden. They will be almost the same supplier of the tracks, so they should be kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think I would like to see if I think I would like to see some training from there at some point. So maybe follow some of the Swedish gymnastics and see if what they do as training, because they might have 6 millers. That's no problem. So maybe Roma knew we only have to do a full straight. So why push the boundaries?
Yeah, exactly.
If
And that is what Gladsaxe is doing very, very nice in Denmark at the moment, because
they're pushing.
And they definitely don't need to push that hard to actually go in and win, but they're doing it anyway because the boys is hungry for actually getting that development.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to see, what I would like to see.
Yeah.
But we have to move forward because we have a cap, so we ask around and you all apply that you would like the episodes to be 30 minutes. So we have a time limit.
So we have a time limit. We've actually put ourselves to the challenge to make it exactly 30 minutes and nothing longer, so we definitely have to move on. Yeah.
So then we'll move on to the women's competition.
Yeah.
Which also went pretty great. The Roma girls won.
So they won both men and women?
Yes, they did. Okay. And I would like for you to see a video after this. And GK Modus did 53.050.
So
and
that is
Roma did 55.
So almost 2 points behind.
Almost 2 points, yeah. Wow. And GT Viking did 50.600.
Yeah, so even further 3 points behind. Okay.
Yeah, but what I would like for you to see is the landings and the safety from the Roma girls.
Okay.
They were all landing the same way, and it looks easy all the way through, all 3 rounds in the tumbling. And for me, it was kind of outstanding because they were just landing on their feet, easy.
Yeah.
So if
you
will go to Roma girls, I think it's
Roma Dam.
Yeah, and then the track is there.
Okay.
So for me, this is just clean, calm, and collected.
Yeah. This is also something though, like the full handspring Rudy is getting very boring for the girls.
It does. But everything is looks so easy. Yeah. Safe landings, control.
Oh. I actually saw that one. I was like, man, that's good. Yeah, that's very good. Nice landing on that one.
Love that.
Yep.
Love that. And then they come a lot of half-halves.
That is amazing.
And look at the trainer even, the coach even. He just stands there. He knows they're gonna land on the feet.
Yeah.
And up there, if you look, he's already with the hands up.
Yeah. So they definitely practice that, and they definitely put in the work to actually train how to freaking land.
I love it.
One thing that stood out to me was they had one girl do a full handspring and then a half twist after double lays.
Mm-hmm.
Either they get a deduction for fall in difficulty, or the cutoff point is very bad.
I don't know actually.
That I don't know either, but
I thought it looked like it was the meaning.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. No one was like, oh shit. So that was the only thing that stood out to me. So kind of weird. Otherwise, it was amazing. It was just, as you mentioned earlier, before we actually hit the record button, it was robotic almost. Everything was just clean and smooth. I think I can see on the camera that we are getting a bit overexposed. I think the sun has come a bit more out, so we might have just to adjust some settings.
Just pull down.
That will be it's better. So I'll just adjust the settings and we'll be right back with you. We are back after changing the settings.
So we just finished up the video. We talked about that. It was almost like a machine going through the runs. It looks so easy. You can see the coaches just standing there knowing they will land on their feet, I think that's comfortable to see. It's just very nice. So hats off to you. Very nice.
Yeah.
Love to see that.
Definitely.
And
also because it didn't look like they were just playing it safe. They actually pushed the level and the level of difficulty within the rounds as well, but it still looked easy for them to do.
And did a lot of different runs.
Yeah.
So there was tuck full out, there was double straight, there was full in straight, there was half, there was straight full full.
I have definitely some videos from the Icelandic Championship that you're going to absolutely love on the track. Definitely.
I know. But we also have to move forward now.
We have to move, yes,
so,
definitely, because we've spent like 19 minutes plus minus the changing settings.
So let's go on to the Icelandic Championships. Maybe if we can go to the Danish Championships as well. Second round?
Second round Liga, yes, definitely. We will have some videos from there as well. Just bring this sound slightly down, it's making a lot of noise. So, first off, we have the women's competition. Iceland is mostly women in TeamGym, and they have a mix as well. So if we just look at the scores, we can see that Stjernen actually ended up winning, and they ended up winning with 54.3 over Gabla, who came second with 52.35. And then Selfoss came in third with 51.8. And what is actually setting them apart is mainly like they're winning the floor routine with like 0.75, and then they're 0.8 ahead on the tumbling, and then they're 0.4 ahead on the trampet. So they actually won all of the disciplines, which is great. I like to see that instead of them just being outstanding performances in the floor routine and then kind of mediocre in the other parts. It's nice to see that they actually have like a high level of competitive skills in all of the three. One thing that I definitely was amazed about, and something also as we talked about with the rounds with the Broma girls now, that I would definitely like to highlight in this is Selfoss and their third round of tumbling. And I'll just find that here. It will be right around, I have to see, 9.10. So it'll be somewhere here. So now all of the fun part again. So what I was amazed about with this is actually seeing so many girls do double tucks with twists. So we always see girls doing double straights, and that was the amazing part. Yeah, and they are coming slow as well. So we always see them do double straight, double pike. Maybe we see them do straight half. But here we're actually seeing that they are adding the twist to the tuck positions as well. That is definitely something we're not seeing a lot in Denmark or Sweden, and this is amazing. Look at Elsa doing the full tuck.
Great.
Like that is just straight up awesome to see girls starting to actually do full tucks in competition as well. In training even, it's rare to see girls doing full tucks. So full straight we've been seeing for some of the senior women for a couple of years. Full tuck is definitely something new, for me at least, to see outside of tumbling, power tumbling. So
might be because they learned the double straight.
Yeah, and then
it's
just
one of the first skills.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but I think that was amazing. I think it was amazing to see that they actually, because they also had like a round of double straights as well. So it's just nice to see that instead of just going double pike or a second round of forward tumbling, they actually just went, wait a minute, we can actually apply the twist to the tuck position. So that was great to see. I went by this with a lot of video just to like show you how the competition actually went, because the scores were just where they was, but definitely something that stood out to me from the competition in general. I counted everything down and like tried to figure out what kind of skills are difficult for women to do, if we look in Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Iceland. And I came down to handspring Rudy, Randy, so the double with 2.5.
Yeah.
And then I just counted everything together. So there was actually 8 handspring Rudies throughout the competition, only on the top three teams.
Yeah.
So they did 8, and they should have done 9. So one bailed out, did like the run up didn't fit or something, so she bailed out. But she should have done that as well. So actually 9 across all of the 3 teams. Then there was a total of 9 double straight with 2.5. And I didn't bother to count the double A's because I think they all had just like double A's all the way through. And I lost count of how many doubles with twist there actually was, because there were so many throughout the competition. So definitely something that stood out to me was they might not have like a lot of teams in Iceland, but the top 3 teams are actually performing very, very well. So that is definitely awesome to see. The next clip I'd like to show you is going to be of Stjernan and their trumpet. So they did 4 Randys in competition, and it will be, I have to figure out how this works, like this, 24 to here. Boom. Look at this one. It was so clean. Boom. And the 4th one was the one that crashed before this. But like, especially like this, not the last one, but the second last one. It's looking clean all the way through. Like the lines are just perfect.
Safe.
Yeah. And then the 3rd.
And also maybe we can bring a shout out to Mikkel Schatz.
Oh yeah.
Who's a Danish coach.
Danish coach in Iceland, yeah. Yeah. Him and Mads Pind.
Mads Pind also.
Mads Pind in Selfoss. And then Markus Schrøder.
Yeah.
He's also, I can't remember what club he's in, but he's also there. And maybe there is a 4th one, I can't remember that as well. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of Danish coaches on Iceland. And then they did 3 handspring Rudies. They did that on this go here. It'll be around here. And here we go. And they are looking good. Like it's looking easy for them to do this.
Exactly. But this might be the same girls who did the Randy as well.
They were, definitely, yeah. Same 3 girls, yeah, definitely. So it should be kind of easy for them, especially if they have trained like the handspring going into this. But it's just nice to see they're actually lifting it off and they're actually getting some height into that, making it easy for them instead of. I hate seeing when they do like the handspring Rudy and just make it around. I'm always standing there being very afraid of the knees and everything. These just looked
easy.
Yeah, it just looked like comfortable to watch because it was like there's no risk of your knee getting anywhere because you have so much time to actually finish everything.
And that's sometimes what gymnastics is all about.
Making it
look easy.
Yep.
And comfortable for the audience.
Yep. Definitely. And then Gabler did some great tumbling as well. I didn't like put the mark for when they did because it was a great performance, but there was nothing like outstanding about it. It was just great overall. So it was not like. But what I did put down for the next mark of video is Gabler's trumpet, because they did a team round of a straight full half, and that is kind of basic in higher level senior women, but they just made it look fantastic. Yeah. So that will be.
So what is it that you're looking for?
Height, lines, especially height. I think these are great because they actually get some air under them. Instead of just being like, they actually have a lot of, what do you call that?
Time?
Yeah, exactly. Flight time, and just making it easy for them to make them clean, have straight lines, and actually just land them safely.
and finding the landings.
Exactly.
What I would like to see when they're landing on their feet is not to bounce.
Yeah.
So that's in all of TeamGym,
Yeah.
and also in tumbling as well. But they are all landing on straight knees.
Yeah.
So they're making that kind of jump.
Yeah.
Every time, and then the step back.
Yeah.
I would like to see the control.
Yeah. Just like
bend your knees a bit. Take a step.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
For me, that would show a bit more control.
Definitely would. I think the difficult part is, first of all, they have to like get out of the way. So like.
Yeah.
And then the second part I think is when the rules are very strict about how much you can bend, then just keeping everything steady and bouncing, you'll definitely make sure you're not getting the deduction.
Yeah, of course, but I can relate to it because when you're landing a lot to a soft landing with straight knees, you'll do the same when you land on hard mats. So I'll do the same thing sometimes, but not in twisting skills because I have a lot of time to see there. But it's more or less the same, but that's what I'm thinking. It's also a greater impact. So if you have straight legs.
Definitely.
So
definitely. And I think that if you are training more to the actual competition landings, that will also make you become more aware of actually where you are, how you're going to land, how you're going to absorb the landing. And I think too many gymnasts is spending way too much time actually jumping into the soft pit instead of actually training, because a lot of the skills you're doing in training you would be able to perform to a competition landing or a semi landing with the competition mats in the pit anyway, and that would make for you to incorporate better landing mechanics for that.
We're seeing Azerbaijan, we're seeing Russia, we're seeing a lot of nations that don't have the soft mats.
Yeah, exactly. Ukraine is a great example. They're almost always landing on their feet, and when they don't like stand up and
cry.
No, exactly.
They just stand up now. Okay.
Yeah, they understand how to actually crash to a competition mat as well because they don't have anything else. So they've tried that. They've actually learned how to do that without getting too injured. Okay.
Awesome. Oliver made the face that we have not that much time left, so we'll move forward.
Definitely. If we want to keep this 30 minutes, we are definitely going to fast forward in this. So yeah, last thing I would like to show you from this competition is definitely the Steffensen tumbling.
Okay.
That was like, I just wrote down when I was watching it, the timestamps and everything, and then the next sentence I wrote was like, just watch the freaking whole thing.
Okay.
It was amazing.
And you talked about the live stream as well. You thought it was great.
Yeah, exactly. They actually made this very nice. As I mentioned, it was free of charge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think actually it is a TV station making the broadcast and then just making it available on their website.
Mm-hmm. So they're starting off forwards?
Yeah, they're making like the safe choice as everyone else.
Of course.
So going full into the Rudy. And
it looked like kind of a soft landing actually.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that as well. It's a very, very soft landing for them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very nice actually.
Why not?
Yeah, taking care of the gymnast and making sure that less is getting injured. I also watched the whole thing and I think I saw one injury or something.
Okay.
And I think that was an ankle, she landed deep and then, but nothing looked like
dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a nice lift.
But also kind of boring to see like the full into Rudy out, and especially when I don't understand why it's a team round, but we know that some of these girls can actually do harder forward tumbling skills, and I would love to see them. That was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And now you are going to be amazed.
Easy.
Boom. Look at this one.
Easy.
And then the third one. I love that. I love the fact that there are three and they're pushing the boundaries.
They need to do transitions.
100%. Look at the second one though, the lift.
The third one as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, standing high.
Exactly. Not killing feet, ankles, anything. Just making a nice soft impact on the track, take off, and then just controlling everything with the upper body block instead of killing the ankles.
Love it.
And then last round of the day.
I believe there would be some forwards, tumbling. I believe there would be some pike position, maybe half.
Yeah, I'm going to make some twists, yeah. So they're doing two.
So they're playing by their strength. I like that.
Yeah. And then we go.
Half. Oh!
Yeah, but I like the fact that she's actually enjoying it either way, and she's like,
Yeah.
fine with it. So yeah, just
Easy, yeah.
outstanding performance. So
Great job.
definitely, that's definitely a great what do you call that? Competitor to the Bruma girls on the tournament as well. Yeah. So I think they are actually kind of close in the competition, like Stjernen and Bruma is. Yeah. So it's going to be.
So what was the ending score, just for fun?
Ending score on like
the whole competition.
We mentioned that in the beginning. We went through all of this.
Yes, but what? 54.3.
54.3.
So Bruma did 55, but it's in another
country.
So they are close.
They are definitely very, very close. Yeah, and if we had the time, we could go into like floor, tumbling, trumpet, and see everything. But yeah, I think that wraps up our.
Okay.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We will definitely see you in the next episode. We will try and we will make sure to actually go out and make an episode each week. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to the podcast wherever you can find it. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So subscribe there if you want to take us on the road. We would love to have all of you guys comment in the section below on YouTube or message us on Instagram, so this can actually be a gymnastics community all the way through.
And also you can let us know if you want us to check something through. So you might have a video that you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Might be a sampler, might be some video from China, whatever you want we can talk about. So this is an open channel. We can talk about strength training, we can talk about gymnastics, we can talk about different skills, whatever you want. So let us know. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Peace out.
Peace.